Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So hopefully you can see this, but I'll point it out anyways. Right about in here is my new XPG half a terabyte drive. This is called a XPG Gammix or Gammix 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 S11 Pro M.2 2880 PCI Gen 3x4 SSD drive. It's a 3D NAND, 1.3 Nvme SLC caching, advanced LDPC. It is rated for a top speed of 3500 megabytes per second for read and a write of 2300 megabytes per second. Actual performance may vary based on system specs and other factors. And so anyways, I got this stick from Amazon, and because I wanted to go with a bigger hard drive. The 120 gig hard drive that came with this thing was sorry sappy. And so I thought, well, I bought a gamer's machine. They did give me a terabyte drive, great for a dump drive, but it's mechanical, so really sluggy for anything else, right? We know mechanical drives are slow. Even a 7200 RPM drive is still slow to today's standards when you put it up against these SSD type drives. Anyways, the SSD that was in it was actually about 500 and some odd megabits per second transfer, which wasn't bad. It's pretty quick. But I wanted faster, and because the slot is already on my motherboard direct, I thought, well, I want a bigger stick anyways in here for space, for a C drive, and so I had no problem affording a half a terabyte for now. It was only $100. But I thought, well, that's a good starting point. We'll see how it goes. If I really like this thing, maybe I'll turn it into a terabyte someday if I need the space. But until I do, I'm not going to worry about it. And although I am a bit of a gamer, I love my games, we'll see how many I can jam in here. And so far I've jammed in quite a few, and I've still hardly put a dent in the sucker. So that's actually pretty good. It does come unformatted, so or uninitialized, so it will not show in your My PC right away. You're going to have to go through your disk management area, and you're going to have to format it first. Then you can use whatever program you're going to use for doing your cloning operation to clone your original drive. I used a program called M.2 Reflect, which I will talk about in another video because I will be doing a review on that program. But anyways, I did finally get the thing set up, and I had to get it to actually work as the boot drive. I had to shut down the system and actually disconnect the cables from my 120 gig hard drive in order for the drive to put itself into the bootloader area of my BIOS, because it's a motherboard mounting system, and I guess the only way it's going to recognize is it has to find something in the sequence, and then it'll add it in after I get the OS on. And it did do that, and then I was able to reshut down the computer, reconnect my 120, and have both of them on there. Now if I want to, I can reformat the 120. But I didn't leave the 120 gig in there because I want to use it to maybe as a backup clone. We're going to see, because I'm going to give it a good test. And because of the way things had to go through M.2 Reflect to create my clone, which I will talk about in the review video, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be safe and not have a problem because I've had no operating issues. It's been fine and stable, so I'm okay there. But I'm going to end up reformatting that drive regardless, and using the 120 as a dump drive, and I've already got it installed into an external case right now, because I want it as an external, because I am going to throw in probably a half or a 1 terabyte regular SSD. I'm going to get rid of this mechanical terabyte drive, take it right out of the picture because I don't need it. I don't want mechanical drives, they're too slow. I want the speed edge. I've been so spoiled since I put an SSD in my iMac, and now I've got this NVMe direct on my board on this thing, and it is phenomenally faster than even the stock SSD. It is just nuts. In the speed test I did with Crystal Diskmark, this thing did a full read of over 3,100 megabits per second for the read, and over 2,100 megabits per second on the write side. So it's pretty close to spec, but they do say, you know, performance does vary upon your system configuration and other factors. So for $100 from Amazon, that was worth every penny in my books. I would definitely highly recommend this drive, and it does have its own heatsink on it too to help keep things cooler. I am going to be adding extra cooling into my tower though. I do have a few other fan spots available to me for mounting fans. Just got to figure out where I'm going to plug the suckers into. I'm going to have to take a really good look at my motherboard and see if I have other power sources on there. But otherwise, yeah, I'm really also loving this gaming system so far. I will have a review coming up on that as well very soon. But yeah, going right off the motherboard like that definitely is like the ultimate for speed edge when it comes to your drive. So if you do have an onboard NVMe slot on your motherboard, take advantage of it. It's definitely worth doing. I'm eventually going to be upgrading the RAM in this too and maxing it out to 32 gigs because that's what this board maxes at. Right now I got 16, which is plenty, but I want to max this sucker out. Same as I'm going to max out my iMac. But I'm also looking at getting a SATA DVD burner because I do have the bay for it, so I'm going to make use of it. Because I do still use a burner. I still need a burner for some stuff. So I'm going to put one in. And like I said, more fans too for cooling stuff. You can never keep your PC cool enough. But anyhow, so that's my thoughts. Now as far as, you know, the dollar value, great price. Performance so far is extremely great. I'm really loving the performance edge. And like I said, even over the regular SSD drive, it read just over 500 megabits read. I can't remember what the write was on it. This thing is definitely literally over 6 times quicker than your standard everyday SSD drive. So that's really good. Programs are loading even faster and running smoother too, and running quicker. Just a night and day difference. It really is. So very impressed there. So what's my overall review rating for stars? I'm going to put this little puppy at, well, I'm going to have to say 4.5 for sure. I'm really pushing on the 4 3/4 area, but guaranteed 4.5 out of 5. You know, 4 3/4. I'm pretty much there. You know, I'm kind of like, I really want to give it that 4 3/4. I mean, nothing's perfect. You guys got to realize that. You can't have a 5-star review on anything. Nothing is actually perfect. But I think 4.5 out of 5 is actually really, really superb for a good, honest review rating on this thing. Definitely working really well for me. So I'm quite happy with it. But anyways, in the meantime, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do stay tuned for the review on this tower as well, and we'll do some demos for you. And I'll also be doing a review on Macrium Reflect, which is the cloning software I use for the PC. It's completely 100% free program to download and use. Works very well. I'm going to talk about probably a couple other programs in that video that I've also tried that really sucked in comparison. But definitely we'll be talking about that, so stay tuned. So in the meantime, if you haven't subscribed, do so and smash that bell for notifications for uploads, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.